Hello and welcome back to Butcher That Model and part 2 of our Primaris dreadnought. We love a good old dreadnought. Now, how far have we got? Well, all I've done off camera is I've joined the leg and the arm together. Saves a bit of time. And today we're going to concentrate on painting lots of detail. So I've loaded up my wet palette with a selection of colours that we're going to use. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of interest to the metal parts. So just changing a few colours basically. So we'll use some Tamiya aluminium, some GW's gold, and Tamiya's copper, which is quite an interesting colour. So we'll just do a few little bits and pieces, just to start to add a bit of interest. It's alright, all gunmetal. If you want to just leave it the same colour, it's entirely up to you. I just like to mix things up a little tiny bit, not a lot. Just makes things look a little bit more interesting. Now I've already loaded my wet palette and thinned my paints. Please, whatever you do, don't, especially with metallics. I'm just going straight out of the pot. Always thin your paints, because what that'll do is that'll give you a smoother coverage. And it'll also make your paints go a lot further. The beauty of this as well is, as we've left this to dry, if you do make a mistake, just get a tiny drop of paint where you don't want one, like I've just done there. Later on we can go back in when this is dried and just touch it up again with a tiny bit of gunmetal. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't go back and touch something up later. Of course you can. So let's just do that and that. And all this does is just adds a little bit more interest. So that'll do us for the gold on that bit. Let's try some of this lovely copper colour. Stray hair there. And we'll just drop it on that bit. The same. Oh, missed that bit there, did I? Oh, I've got a stray hair there on a new brush. I'll have to sort that out in a second. Right there, back in that gold. Touch up the one we forgot to do, which was that one just there. Alright, and that'll do us for that bit of the leg. Now if you notice on the front it's got like two little headlight things. So what I've got is I've got a bit of a, I've already painted them silver. Let's just get leave out of this as well. We won't use that brush. Now this stuff is great, but you can't clean your brushes with water. You have to use either X28 thinners or what we're just doing, or some isopropyl alcohol. And what we're just doing is just putting a gloopy little blob. And when it dries, especially with the silver behind it, it will form a very, very reflective lens. And when the light catches it, it'll actually look like a glass lens. Very good stuff. Like that. I'm also going to use the same on the light lens above the sarcophagus. I really have to get some more of this. This one wasn't the Tamiya, this was the AK clear yellow. Actually very good stuff. Right, so let's just get in and put some of that yellow down on that lens. Now this is quite thick and gloopy. It's not like a normal acrylic paint, but the advantage of it is when it dries. And then later on we'll just go in. It self-levels to a certain degree as well, which is quite nice. So what we'll do is we'll go in later on and just touch up the framework of the light with, as we're using the clears, we'll get our clear bed and do that lens there. Let's get that one. Let's get the pot. I'm just going to now just fill up. It's like a little bowl on this lens, so it's quite nice. You can get when it comes off the brush. It's very gloopy stuff. Come on. Right, now that should self-level in a second. And like I say, when it dries, it will give it. See that it's just catching the light now, because it's been silvered behind. It's been mirrored behind. It really does look like a proper lens. Right. That's enough playing with clear colours. So what I'll do now is I'll go around and start touching up all the little bits of metal that we want to change the colour slightly of. You don't want to sit here watching me for 20 minutes or 30 minutes just painting bits of silver different colours, and I'll see you in a second, in a minute. It's a time machine. Ooh, let's just flick that around. Right then, I've just gone in and touched up some of the metal work, changed the tone of some of it, just to add a bit of difference. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start doing all the pipe work and all the front of the sarcophagus. Now, because we've painted the entire thing blue, if we was to try and put a paler colour on there, like a yellow or an orange or a cream or a white, we'd struggle to cover that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to re-undercoat all the pipes and all the lower leaf and the scroll work. We'll undercoat that with a pale grey, and what that'll do is that'll give us then the ability to go lighter with a yellow or an orange on things. Otherwise we get a darker tone. We don't want that. So I'll crack on with that, and I'll see you in a second when that's all undercoated and done. Because it's time. Oh, the lens. The red lens has had time to dry. If I get it right, you see now how that's physically reflecting light. See that? Clear, it's clever stuff, isn't it? It's actually a proper lens now with the red light behind it. We like a bit of that. So I'll see you in a second, in a minute, when I've undercoated the bits we're going to turn lighter. It's a time machine. Time machine. We love a time machine. Right then. I've just gone over that now with the Ultraman Grey, which is a very pale grey, and that will now give us a chance to go with the lighter tones. So I'm going to just go and randomly paint pipes different colours. We'll paint the lower leaf green, and then we'll use a Reichland flesh shade probably, and then highlight that with huge habit bone on the scroll work. So let's get some paint thinned on the job. We'll just start off randomly. We'll use a nice little yellow, I think. And all we're going to do is start randomly painting pipes. And then we'll do the same on the other one. Get around the edge of it. Always help. I'll try and be neat, but don't panic if you touch something else. You can always touch up with a McCrag blue later. And then I think we'll do this pipe here yellow. As well. And then in this cluster of pipes we'll do one of them yellow as well. We're going to rinse, clean your bush off, and then we'll go into, let's go into a red. Oh, that's a bit, my wet palette's drying out a little bit. I'll sort that out later. Right then, so I'll put very carefully. I'll do that and that one red. Oh, that's a bit thin now. If your paint's too thin, dry your brush off. Put your brush in. And that will wick away that paint. Right there. Start again with that. And then we'll do the same with this one here. I'll paint that pipe there red. And these are going to need two thin coats. Don't worry about your first coverage thinking, oh, that doesn't look so good. It never does. But trust me, 2 or 3 thin coats is far better than trying to slap one big thick coat on, because all that will do is that will leave it with brush marks. You'll cover up lots of detail, and it won't look anywhere near as good as doing 2 or 3 thin coats. And think I'll do that bottom one there red as well. Now, once you've got past the first 2 pipes, this one, this one, this one, this one, when you put that cover on, you don't see the rest of it. So it's entirely up to you whether you do this process or not. I just like to get in there. Right. Let's change now. It's going to go into a green. And we'll do this one here green. Right, that's starting to mix in with that one, so we'll leave them to dry. We'll call that off again and start again with that in a minute. A bit of a towel and dry off the excess. We'll do that again when that red's a lot dry. Now see, don't panic if you make a mistake. Make it off. You can always go back in later on. See, that's cleaned up a tweak now. You can always go in later on when it's all dried, and just touch up with a little bit of blue. Whatever colour you're using, just touch back up with that. It's not an issue. Right, dry that brush off. Get around the other side. We'll do that one green. That one green. Right, so I'm going to carry on doing this. Let's see what I'll do. I want this here. We'll do this lower leaf over here. As we've got green on the brush. Right then, so I'll carry on doing this, painting these pipes, neaten them up a lot, and I'll see you in a second. It's a time machine. There we go, it's a time machine. That's all nicely neatened up now. So what I'll do next is, we'll fill in all these little bits of colour we haven't done yet, put that gold, we'll do that and that. And then we'll call it a day. I'll do that off camera. We'll call it a day for now. We've been running for over 15 minutes. We need to start cutting our videos down to more reasonable size chunks, and then in our next episode we'll finish up, we'll show you what we've done, and then we'll get on with doing a bit of a heat bloom with inks on the assault cannon, and then we'll get into edge highlighting, which is the longest, tedious part of any Games Workshop build, especially when it's something as big as this. It's going to take a long time to do the edge highlighting, so what we'll do though is we'll time machine a lot of it again, and we're going to start cutting our videos down to more watchable sizes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 3 of Let's Build a Primary Space Marine. Dreadnought even. It's one of them things. Thanks for watching, see you soon.